One day, a man named Jude was searching the forest for a magical crystal. The crystal could create an entire birdie land. I have found the crystal! The birdie crystal is mine! All of its powers! I can create whatever I want now! With the crystal's power, Jude created a species of birds known as the birdies. They began coming together to create a town. A wise birdie named Owl went on to have a grandchild named Baby Owl. He would start the creation of an entire birdie land. Baby Owl continued his rule over Birdie Land and started building houses. Soon, an owl called Cookie was born, and he took over ruling Birdie Land from Baby Owl. He created Birdie Plaza, and all the birdies lived in it, still to this day. All robot creatures called Birdie Minions began attacking the castle and invading from everywhere. The birdies decided to find the source of these Birdie Minions and defeat it. Cookie sent an army of birdies out to the Birdie Boss rocks to find and kill the Birdie Boss, who they think has started all of this. They ended up defeating the Birdie Boss, and the Birdie Minions no longer attacked. The Birdie Boss tried to create Birdie Brine, a robot that was as powerful as him, but he was quickly defeated and never spoke of again. Meanwhile, two wild owls, who would soon become the first Gales, and their two babies, were trying to find their way home when they found Sammy, a birdie who had been living in the forest. Then, as they tried to find their home, Sandy also appeared and tried to attack the owls until he realized they were Gales too. Sandy's friend Oscar heard the attack and came down as well. Over a few days, there were now 7 Gales in total. Oscar would become Sandy's girlfriend and then marry him in the future. 7 Gales began their return home when a Gale called Pinky arrived and told them about her path going to Birdie Land. The Gales were very interested about this new home and decided that they would go there. Arrived in Birdie Land, Cookie told them about a powerful enemy called Birdie Bone. When the Birdie Boss fell into a canyon deep in the Birdie Boss rocks, he melted in the lava, but his skeleton remained. Then he turned into a powerful creature called Birdie Bone. He also grew slightly in size, which made the birdies think he was a different enemy. Then the Gales sent out on an adventure to destroy Birdie Bone. When fighting Birdie Bone, the birdies realized that he was too powerful and decided to use all of their birdie essence to create Owen. Owen was the most powerful birdie at this time, even stronger than Cookie. He could also activate his true form and become a giant birdie, even taller than 2 houses. Owen defeated Birdie Bone, and the birdies were safe once again. Then, instead of killing Owen and returning the birdie essence back to them, they decided to create an entirely new birdie, which was now Owen. Icicles was the first birdie to find Birdie Land, but then a new birdie appeared. This birdie was very strong and evil, and it turns out that the Birdie Boss created him to destroy the birdies as a disguise. But the birdies taught Yago their cuteness ways, and Yago became a nice birdie. Then he confronted the Birdie Boss, and he turned him off to full rage mode. Unfortunately for the Birdie Boss, the attacks did nothing, and he proceeded to hug the Birdie Boss to death for now. Yago then became a normal birdie, and could use his special ability of teleporting when someone called his name. Then, a baby birdie called Twiggy, who was very small, discovered Moonlight's temple, and decided to ask Moonlight if she could make Twiggy grow. Twiggy magically grew to the size of Cookie and 2 times bigger. Then Twiggy and Moonlight traveled across the world, helping birdies that needed their help. After that, they returned to Birdie Land, and Moonlight and Twiggy were happy once again. But Moonlight's brother Percy also appeared after hearing that Moonlight had traveled to this land. who had been living in the dark forest, decided to join Cookie and all the other birdies in Birdie Plaza. There was also Wise, who came for an unknown reason, but is just an ordinary birdie now. Enchanted arrived much later, because she was seeking powers that no other birdie had. She had already grown a horn and had magical rainbow colors on her feathers, which used to be completely white. She was looking for the powers that she detected from Moonlight, but it turns out that Moonlight was an owl, so Enchanted decided to leave Moonlight on her own and not steal her powers. Birdies were exploring. They found the guys, a traitor civilization that wanted to take over the birdies. But the birdies did not want to be took over, so they decided to form an even stronger military. They decided to build castles, but the guys responded with calling in even more troops, so the birdies had to kill some of the guys. This started the medieval era of Birdie Land, with castles being built everywhere. With the rise of a new birdie called Piplup, who was also a guy, the birdies did not know what they should do with Piplup. They decided to steal him from the guys and trap him in a cage, and then turn him into a birdie for further experiments. But the guys got so angry that they used all of their forces against them, so the birdies had to build a huge castle to protect Piplup. He was eventually stolen, and it started a huge war between the birdies and the guys, with neither side winning, but the birdies actually won in the end. A gigantic group of songbirds arrived at Birdie Land after realizing that they could find a new home. But there were so many songbirds that they had to create a new village called Songbird Village. Some of these songbirds were very mean and tried to break free from Birdie Land and claim independence, but the birdies showed them who was boss. But then, wild groups of new songbirds started appearing everywhere and threatened to take over Birdie Land with their massive numbers. But the birdies defended using fake birdie logic, which is a magical thing, almost related to the magic hand. This concludes everything that has ever happened in Birdie Land so far. If you want to see multiple timelines or check out the Birdies Wiki, be sure to check the links in the description that will probably not be there, but you should still check. Thank you for watching the Birdie History documentary.